Okay, we're now welcome back on to the show, the National Manager of Generation Liberty here at the IPA, Renee Gorman. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me on again.
She's had a massive week.
She's had a massive week, so we should start off with congratulations. So first and foremost, Renee, congratulations. Snaps, indeed, for 1,500 Generation Liberty members. Snaps for Renee.
What other snaps thing again? I've explained this to me before.
Snaps is just applause, and you use it when you can't use applause, and I can't remember quite why. We can do jazz hands. We can take a page out of the Oxford Student Union over in the UK and do jazz hands if you find the applause a bit too anxiety-inducing.
Oh, I don't know, but yeah, I'm not getting triggered anytime soon.
Okay, fair enough. 1,500 Generation Liberty members is a lot. Why has this been so successful? What do you put it down to?
I think that Generation Liberty is really filling a niche. I think that there are a lot of young people out there that know that there is certain ideas that they are not being exposed to in school, they're not being exposed to at university, and Generation Liberty is there saying, we want you to be exposed to everything. We want you to hear both sides of the story. And also, I love the concept right now that, libertarians, conservatives, classical liberals, we're kind of the new punk, we're the new rebellious side. The left has fully established themselves as the establishment now, they're the status quo. If you want to join something a little bit more fun, a little bit more edgy on campus, you join us, because it's, the radical left are telling you, hey, you're only allowed to say this, you're only allowed to do this, you're only allowed to eat this, you're only allowed to think this. And generally young people don't like being told what to do, so we're the new rebels.
I like the idea of Renee as a punk rocker.
Yeah. I mean, that's as soon as I saw her, I thought, Sex Pistols.
Because Renee, you've got pretty long hair. If we can put that all up into a mohawk, that would be quite something.
Maybe next time we'll see the mohawk.
I did actually play a punk in one of my Rocker Stedfords. We did Billy the Punk as a musical.
Wow, there we go. We were just talking about musical theatre off air, and then the worlds collide. Renee Gorman. What is it? What did you say? Musical what?
Of Billy the Punk. It was like a kid's book about a kid wanting to become a punk. We did it in kindergarten. It's a picture book.
Right.
Well, you can bring that in next time and we'll go through it.
Yes.
Now, you had a massive write-up in the Sydney Morning Herald, was it, over the weekend?
Yeah.
Big photo.
Thank you to Saul Muscatel, our tech guy who helped out with that photo.
Yeah, they couldn't get a photographer to us, and I'm like, no worries, we've got a great photographer in the office.
And then when he couldn't report to Judy, we got Saul. Sorry, Saul. That's just
he's going to cut your sound now.
I know, Saul. I know. Yeah, I'm scared of him. Anyway, how was that?
Good. There's a little bit of trepidation with me talking to Sydney Morning Herald, but the story turned out really well. I thought it really showed that we're having a really big impact on the student movements and the Liberty scene in general, and we're getting noticed. So that's really good. We definitely have our place in the scene right now, and that's certainly a good thing.
Yeah, what I liked about that article was it started off with a big profile of Generation Liberty, and then afterwards got into like Socialist Alternative and like the different uni liberal groups. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, we take first billing when people talk about student groups. Like,
and I like that they kept emphasizing that I said mad socialist. Like they were trying to make that like I was saying something bad. I'm like, anyone who's been to university in the last 60 years knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
You keep trying to pull that out as if it's a negative quote, and it's not.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, and also we had the photo as well. Like none of the other groups had the photo.
Yeah, and also we were the most diverse photo. So 2 white men for Labor, and
very diverse,
and then 2 white men for some socialist club, and then Generation Liberty, female national manager. So we're champions of diversity.
Well, the Greens can take a lesson because they've just elected another straight white male into the leadership role.
Oh, yeah. And also I talked about this on Sky News. I personally I'm very open to the new transparency by the Greens because, in the past they've been called the Watermelon Party, green on the outside, red in the middle. Now they have a leader who's, his PhD's in Marxist ideology. So I think the Greens are now a strawberry, just all red, little bit of green on top.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a pun, but yeah, strawberry is better than any I was going to. I was trying to think of that. Anyway.
As long as you keep it organic.
Okay. Now, Renee, O Week is coming up on... Actually, no, there's one more bit of congratulations I want to get to before we talk about O Week, and that is the University of Sydney Vice-Chancellor is in here last year, who I know has been one of your favourite contemporaries. Any parting words you wanted to say on this momentous day in the University of Sydney?
I take on the immense responsibility of saying that this is all due to my niggling and continuing to annoy him, but he's moved on to a better job. I can only hope that the University of Sydney chooses a better Vice-Chancellor, also a cheaper Vice-Chancellor, because he's paid a ridiculous amount. But yeah, I just hope that University of Sydney manages to find a chancellor that can defend free speech in the future and will do good work for the students that are there.
Now, we've got a lot to get through, but for people that are new to this, what are just some of the reasons that this, like, were some of your run-ins with this guy over the years?
So when I ran the event, my first event as a campus coordinator called The Dangers of Socialism, which coincidentally happened to be during the socialist conference at university, but that was complete coincidence. We had over 150 people attend, sold out event. We got a letter from the university administration saying that we had to pay over $750 in security fees because our event had the risk of protest and could be potentially dangerous. No protesters showed up and we still had to pay that money. That money originally was going to go to fundraising for a family in Venezuela, so we were charging $5 at the door. That was supposed to go to helping fight for freedom in Venezuela. Instead, it went to line the pockets of the University of Sydney. And then when the Case for Coal event happened, we got another letter saying that they were like, oh, well, there's no real risk of protest yet. We haven't got any threats, but we're just letting you know at any moment, any time, up to the moment of the event, we can smack a security fee on you at whatever cost we want. And then also during the Unlearn campaign, I asked him to have a meeting with me about the famous Unlearn campaign, which I know Bella's spoken a lot about unlearn truth and stuff like that. I thought it was a terrible postmodernist concept to be putting on your new students. And I asked just to have a meeting with him to discuss this, and he told me that he'd have any time in his diary free for the entire semester, not even 15 minutes. So
Busy guy.
Yeah. So this guy is supposed to represent students, talk, work at a university.
Introduce us to your little mate that you've brought with you into this interview. For those watching, for those listening, they can't see it, so describe it as well, please.
So this is Eleanor the Echidna. So when I was designing merch for O Week, a lot of American organizations use a porcupine as their symbol of freedom. Mm-hmm. So I decided that I'm holding up a bag now for audio listeners, to design a new bit of merch for O Week that says, "Don't tread on me, mate," and with an echidna. So I thought I'd make it Aussie. Mm-hmm. And our fearless leader, John Roscombe, particularly liked the echidna, and he's decided that it is the new Generation Liberty mascot. So we have Eleanor sitting in her office as a gift from John. And yeah, so she's going to be our mascot leading into the future.
What is the name Eleanor from?
So there is a famous echidna from Tasmania from a story a few weeks ago called Eleanor, who was so big and fat that she got hit by a car.
That's not fat shame, Eleanor.
No, she's awesome. She was so big and awesome and spiky. She got hit by a car and just kept going. So nobody treads on Eleanor, not even a car. She'll keep
nothing
going.
stopping Eleanor
and
getting to the
I
next
think
meal.
that represents, the tenacity of Generation Liberty, that we'll just keep trotting along.
Terrific.
I
That's
love
awesome.
That. I love that. So for O Week coming up, any stores in particular you want to plug? Because, we've got a lot of students going to O Week, so looking for clubs to join. Generation Liberty, obviously the best of all clubs. What can any places in particular we're looking to boost? So
right now we're at Sydney University. So today was the first day, but we're going to be there for the next few days. We're going to be at UQ O Week next week. We're also in Tasmania for the first time. So we're actually got a campus coordinator in every state now. Now,
is Eleanor the Echidna the real one speaking at our Generation Liberty store?
She may make a surprise appearance. I don't know.
She better. Or I'm going to have to talk to someone.
And people can pick up that bag at the O Week, is that right?
Yes, they can.
That's called a tote bag, James.
Wow.
So,
if you're wondering.
You'll get this bag along with...
I was.
That's a tote bag, isn't it?
Yeah, a little tote bag.
Oh, so hoping it was a no. I just got massively well, actually, and I just hoped Pete wasn't able to stick the landing.
I know what the kids are doing these days.
Yeah, so you'll get this along with filled with heaps of badges and stickers and an awesome new bottle opener, really cool fun merch. Only $10 to sign up. So we're also going to be in Adelaide. We're going to be at UWA. We're going to be across 14 campuses all over Australia. Would have been 15 if it wasn't for QUT.
So that's still off?
Yeah, so we're not going to be at QUT officially, but I'm sure that Chris Decker is going to be doing a lot of work, and then we're going to get a lot of memberships anyway.
Yeah, like if you're at QUT, you can still join Generation Liberty.
Yes, you can still join
Like,
Generation Liberty. Don't you want to join the club that the guild banned?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, and we've had Chris on the show. Like, if Chris Decker doesn't stand up to your university's values, then something's gone terribly wrong with the university.
I know.
Like, he's just a regular guy.
Who doesn't want to party with Chris?
Exactly.
Well, some people did party with Chris when he was in town, but
Peter
not sure
Gregory
if
has
that's-
a story.
Well,
Does he?
No, I don't have. It's not my story to tell, James.
That was definitely a story time.
We'll see.
Now, the other thing about Generation Liberty I want to talk about is that we've announced the upcoming tour of Gloria Alvarez.
This is massive.
This is massive. Now, for people that don't know who she is, who is Gloria Alvarez, and what can people expect?
Oh, we've got a sneak preview.
Oh, do we have a sneak preview?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yes, Peter
exciting.
Gregory. Talk us through this.
Well, I went on the internet and found a video of Gloria Alvarez so that people would know what she's about. Here she is now, so we'll roll the tape.
Socialism doesn't work. It didn't work in the Soviet Union. It didn't work in China. It didn't work in North Korea. It didn't work in Cuba. Doesn't work in Venezuela. It wouldn't work in Mars. Because
Straight.
the way it is structured goes against human nature.
All right, very cool. So that's what people can expect now. Why are you so excited to bring Gloria Alvarez out to Australia?
Because she's an awesome, straight-talking, sassy Guatemalan woman who's going to tell us and tell, the inner city types who think socialism is so awesome, what this system really creates. And I think it's going to be a real reality check for anyone who comes and sees her who thinks that socialism has any prospect in Australia. And I think it's really important for our young people to see the results of a system like this. But also she's going to be super fun. I think she's going to bring a really good energy to the movement. And Generation Liberty's never brought out an international speaker before, so this is a first for us, and it's our first tour, so it's going to be really exciting.
And she is a genuine global rising star as well. She has had like millions of views on her video. She's massive in the Spanish-speaking world. She's becoming massive in places like America and stuff like that. What exactly are you looking forward to the most about Gloria coming? Oh, and she will be on the Young IPA podcast as well.
I'm also just looking forward to just hanging out with her.
That's right. You get to hang out with her, don't you?
I get to hang out with her on the tour, so that'll be really good. I also want her. She does these amazing vox pops on the streets where she talks to people from, countries that have experienced socialism. So I'm going to bring her out on campus and have her talk to young people who have come from countries that have had to live under authoritarian or socialist regimes, and have that back and forth. So we have those real stories to talk about why we do what we do and why we believe socialism is bad, which I think is the thing that connects the most with people.
And it's so important as well because at universities, when you talk to people, there's so much of this idea of like, oh, we don't want South America, we want just to be Denmark and we just want to be a Scandinavian country. It's like, no, you are so much more likely with these policies to end up like these South American countries. So it's going to be so awesome to hear her perspective on like, yeah, this is what actually happens.
And Denmark isn't socialist. Like the president came out and said, we're not socialists. Could somebody, for people, please stop calling us socialists?
Yeah.
Anyway, where can people go to buy tickets?
So you go to generationliberty.org.au. Also, we've got some Facebook events up. If you go to our Generation Liberty Facebook event page, that will link you to generationliberty.org, and also an Eventbrite. So heaps of places to buy tickets. Tickets are free, but registration is absolutely essential because this is going to sell out.
Cool. Now, this is a bit of a somber note towards the end, but we won't finish on this. But obviously, it's been a pretty big 2 weeks for Jordan Peterson, and we know that, Renee, you're a huge fan of Jordan Peterson, and we've devoted basically an episode of the show towards the documentary that you helped bring out to Australia. So how's this last 2 weeks been for you? Because we haven't talked about this on the podcast. We want to get your perspective.
I'm really just hoping he gets through this. I, obviously feel sad that he had to experience this, but I know a lot of people who say, this reverses everything he said, or this makes the things that he said disingenuous. And I think, did you ever actually listen to Jordan Peterson when they say that? Because he was always open about his mental health issues. He was always open about the struggles he was happening in his life and his other health issues. He never looked down on people for struggling with things like alcoholism or addiction. He's always said that, life is suffering and that we all have to bring ourselves together to get past that, but sometimes it does overwhelm you. So I'm really, my thoughts are just with his family, especially his daughter and his wife right now, and hopefully that, he'll be back with us. But, if he needs to take time off as well, I can imagine that part of this whole episode has been that he's just been completely overwhelmed by the change in his life. So if he needs to take time away, then all the power to him.
Yeah, it just seemed to be like he was following his own doctrine in that he was struggling and he tried to make himself better. Like, these are just steps you take.
Yeah, and it wasn't a psychological addiction. It was literally a physical addiction. So when they started taking him off, his body reacted and he became extremely suicidal, it sounds like, from the explanations from his daughter. So he's always said, if you've got depression, if you have anxiety, and if you're suicidal, try medication. Don't be afraid of that, because it's better you trying it and still being with us tomorrow than having a fear of medication and not being with us tomorrow. So I don't think he's done anything that goes against the doctrine that he's been speaking the whole time. So really, I just hope he comes out of this more than anything.
And also, there's no way everyone's gone through his whole Bible series, so it's not like he needs to put out more content.
There's a lot
Oh,
of
no,
catch
I've
up
been
out
through
there.
He's
it.
done.
Oh,
You've
The entire
watched
Bible
everything.
series?
yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm actually not that surprised. Renee, you are a huge fan of Jordan Peterson.
Yes, I am.
All right. So, Renee, we've had such a big week for Generation Liberty. We've got a bunch of big weeks coming up as well. We've got this tour as well. Where can people go if they want to sign up and hear more about Generation Liberty?
So generationliberty.org.au. You can sign up there. It's only $10. Let's get to 2,000 soon. 2,000
very
members.
cool.
Let's do it.
And don't forget about the Facebook page and the Instagram and the YouTube channel as
Yeah.
well. All right,
And the
sweet.
website.
Renee, thank you very much for joining us.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
Renee.
you.